Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today I'm going to be doing some underrated fantasy book recommendations. So I read a lot of books, and there are sometimes books that I really love that I feel like nobody is talking about, that I feel like more people need to be talking about. So we're gonna talk about them. So the first book on this list is actually a series of books. It's a middle grade series that I read when I was really young, and I absolutely love it. It's not necessarily your typical fantasy book, but there are a lot of fantasy tropes in it, and there are some supernatural aspects of it as well that just make me love this series so much. And that's the Underland Chronicles by Suzanne Collins, which includes Gregor the Overlander, Gregor and the Prophecy of Bane, Gregor and the Curse of the Warmblood, Gregor and the Marks of Secret, and Gregor and the Code of Claw. So this series is following the character named Gregor, obviously, who is an overlander. He lives in our world, he lives in New York City, but one day him and his little sister Boots falls through a grate in their building into the Underland, and in the Underland there are giant rats and giant bats, and there are all these prophecies and things that he has to go on these quests, and it's just a wonderful realization of this Underland world. And I just loved all of the characters in this book, and it's just one of those books that I read as a child that I really loved, and when I started rereading it as an adult, I was surprised by how much I still loved it. Like, it was one of those books that I could read as an adult and love as much as I did when I read it back in elementary school. I loved this book back then as much as I love the Harry Potter series, and this is just one of my most adored books, and I want more people to read it. Like, if you like middle grade, I highly recommend this series. So the next book on this list is one that I've been talking about a lot this year, but it's one that just like completely blew me away earlier this year, and I expected like a lot of people to read it, and then like almost nobody read it, and I was just like, oh, it's so good, more people need to read this book, and that's Crown of Feathers by Nicki Preto. I love this book so much. I'm definitely planning on rereading this book in December, and I want more people to read it so that I can talk to them about it, because this book is about Phoenix Writers. It's about two sisters who want to become Phoenix Writers, but it's in a world where Phoenixes are really rare now, so there aren't very many Phoenix Writers at all, and they're separated at the beginning, and one of the sisters, in order to join this group of Phoenix Writers, she has to pretend to be a boy, and it's just such a fun novel, and I absolutely loved it, and I want more people to read it also, so really love this one as well. The next underrated book that I definitely want to recommend to you guys is Vita, Nostra by Marina and Sergey Dyachenkov. I read this book earlier this year as well, and I absolutely loved it. It's often referred to as like an adult version of Harry Potter, and it's because there's a magic school in there, but I feel like there's just so much more to it than that description, because it just gets very wonky. It's one of those books that like just messes with your mind, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's one of those books also that I don't want to say too much about, because I've heard people do reviews of this and they just talk about it, and I'm just like, oh, let them figure these things out on their own, let them read it for the first time on their own. It's one of those books that it's like good to go into like not knowing anything, and I highly recommend it. It's also a translated work, so if you like reading translated works, like, it's a really good one that I highly recommend. And the last book that is gonna be on this list is The Ember Blade by Chris Whitting. So I read this book because of a suggestion that I had for a comment that I had on one of my videos, and it was really good. I ended up giving this one 5 stars as well. This book follows like your classic high fantasy quest trope, but it feels very modernized. It's about two friends who live in a country that is being occupied by this other country, and now they're kind of second-class citizens, and it's kind of dealing with how they deal with that and then moving on from that as well. It is definitely a very slow-moving book, but it has fantastic characterization, and I'm really excited to continue on with that series as well. This was just a short, quick video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I post videos frequently on this channel, so consider subscribing. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up to support my channel. All social media links are in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!